On today's video, we're basically going to be talking about the drinking problem I developed while on the Camino de Santiago. I feel like I spent every day just walking to get my next beer. The Camino de Santiago might be the world's longest pub crawl / wine tasting. And it honestly was one of my favorite parts about it. There's nothing weird in Spain about having a glass of wine at 10, 11 o'clock in the afternoon, let alone by lunch. Everybody's drinking it. There were a couple things. I happen to be a beer drinker. I love beer. And where I come from, microbrew is king. We don't really ever drink light beers for the majority. Beer over in Spain is pretty much just light beer. It's almost impossible to find anything dark like a Guinness or a heavy stout of any sort, which is fine. When you're walking 20 miles a day, you probably don't want to have a heavy Guinness sitting in your stomach. Wine, on the other hand, is amazing in Spain. I couldn't believe how cheap it constantly was to drink. For less than €1 on multiple occasions, I bought a bottle of wine that was a good bottle of wine. I had no complaints about it whatsoever. When you're getting wine at the bar, the price can range anywhere from, €1 to, I think I paid as high as €3 at one point for a glass of wine at a decent dinner, but that was far and few between. It was usually right about €1 for a glass of wine. Every once in a while though, you'll get real lucky and you'll find a drink called Sidra, or Sidra. I don't exactly remember how to pronounce it. If you find it, drink it. It's the funnest night you'll have. We spent a night partying with a bunch of locals, polished off several bottles of it. It's basically a Spanish cider that they long pour it. I believe they do it to get as much air as possible into the drink when they're pouring it, and it really becomes a show. And there was bunches of locals around us on the day that we were drinking it, and everybody was just having a blast, pouring behind the back and as high as they could. If you get the chance to have it, don't miss it. It was one of the most fun nights I had on the entire Camino. Beer and wine is usually about the same cost when you're drinking it in the bar. For a pint, you're looking about €1, maybe €2. I think might have been on the high end for most beer I paid for. Luckily, you never have to go more than a couple hours of walking usually before you hit the next bar to have your next beer. And when it's a hot day and you've just walked a long ways, I don't know if anything tastes better than a nice cold beer, which happens to be one of the only cold things you can get in Spain. For some reason, they don't put ice in anything. Maybe that's just me being an American that I think ice should come all the time, but it doesn't in Spain. But what are you gonna do? It was really cool. A lot of the times when we were having wine for dinner, they might just bring you out a bottle of wine that doesn't even have a label on it. It's something that their family made, or they made, somebody they know made. You could never get it again in a million years. Just that alone was worth the experience of walking the Camino, of getting to try so many different wines, and just constantly being blown away with how good of wine you can get for such a great value there, compared to here in the States, where a cheap bottle of wine is $5, $6. Over there, for less than €1, you're getting a $30, $40 bottle of wine here sometimes. It's really a great experience. Hopefully you get to enjoy all the amazing beverages that I got to enjoy on my Camino. If so, please tell me about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and may your journeys be grand. Buen Camino.